Alright, alright, alright. Hello, hello, hello. Spyro. Saturdays. I see the supporter chat, for whatever reason, didn't go white the other time it was used. So that's pretty interesting that we have some relically old chats from Braxter there. Alright, let's have a look here. Yo, Adam, how you doing? It's very late. I woke up, and then I saw the time was like 10 or something. I was like, you know what? 10 o'clock, maybe another 20 minutes. I woke up at 12:30. So more than 20 minutes for sure. But I don't know, maybe I need the sleep. Who knows? So let's go ahead and get this party started. Why is he stuck? I don't know, honestly. It's just a random gift that I found of him spiraling out of control. Haha, spiraling. Alright, let's go ahead and turn the PlayStation on, get the nice nostalgic vibes going. Hold on, I messed that up. I messed that up. Hold on. Because for whatever reason it's muted. There we go. Oh yeah. Good old PlayStation. Let me turn analog on my controller. Insomniac. Just gonna mess around with audio again because it's outputting a lot louder than I thought it would. Yo, Braxter, how's it going? We were just talking about you. I have ghost messages over in the supporter chat because it didn't clear. Give me 1 second. Let me see. I'll do this. Stop. 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 Hello, Mark. Hello. Can you guys hear Mark all right compared to the game audio? Again, I don't know why it's outputting a lot louder than it is. Am I loud? You got Spyro 2 for Christmas 99 as an 11-year-old. Nice, nice. Sick. Alright, I can hear you. I didn't get Spyro 2 until... I didn't own my copy of Spyro 2 until last year.
Nice.
What about you, Mark? When did you get Spyro 2?
You know, I literally can't remember. That's how long ago it's been. Shit, when did I even hear about Spyro? Dude, I don't know.
You don't know? You don't even remember when you heard of Spyro?
I do remember when I heard of Spyro. I first played the demo on a PS Underground disc, and it was a lot of fun. And then, and it was an earlier version because they had the credits music playing for Stonehill, and then they had the main menu theme playing for Artisans. That was the build. That was like the build before the final game.
I see. Also, let me know if you can hear this through Discord share, because I don't know how it does, since I am playing off an actual console.
Let's see. I can hear everything fine. Things look good on the Discord end. Let me double check the Twitch end.
Yoda for Tom Kenny.
Tom Kenny!
Is this rain ever gonna stop? I've forgotten what the sun looks like. We should go on vacation. Somewhere warm,
his
somewhere sunny.
Performance here or in
Dragon
Reignited.
Shores. Yeah.
Like the sound of his voice, the way he delivers lines.
It's kind of hard to like compare for me because like it sounds the same, you know. Like I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to replay some of Reignited because like I don't think I noticed too much of like a big difference.
Is it working, Professor?
He does channel a lot more of Carlos's like snarkiness throughout like all the games. He has a bit more because the sound is a little different, not too much so, but if you listen to like one of these lines, either 2 or 3 lines from OGN here and Reignited back to back, there's a little bit of like, I mean, of course with age and everything, there's a little bit of a difference, but not too much, like you're saying.
Yeah. No, I feel like now there would probably be kind of a difference. If he were to do a Spyro line, I feel like he would definitely strain his voice a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though it's actually kind of very similar to his own voice. It's not like he's actually put on a show, it feels like.
Oh no, for real. The last 2 times I've heard him as Spyro outside of Reignited and after the fact was in the Spyro panel from Comic-Con. Actually, that was before the game came out. But there was that, and then and then there was what was there? It was the shout out that Miharu got that we used in one of her videos. It was the Spyro character analysis video.
Oh, that's cool. You recently got Sonic Unleashed. The good news is that you have a physical disc. The bad news is that your Xbox 360 and your Xbox Series X isn't reading the disc. That can sometimes happen. I don't know what to suggest for that.
Who is that jerk?
That was Ripto.
Sometimes resurfacing works, other times it doesn't.
He's causing all sorts of trouble.
Just really depends on how damaged, I guess, the disc was before they resurfaced it.
Here, take this magic guide to Avalon. It'll help you begin to understand our worlds.
Wow, listen to all that audio popping from their
I'll
mics.
meet you in Summer Forest, okay?
Hey, wait a minute.
Laura gets it the worst. I mean, her and I have made fun of it to hell and back already, but like, she's got the worst of it.
Yeah, no, I do notice that when she's talking, her mic's peaking quite a bit. I don't know what type of microphones they were using back then, but I mean, it had to have been studio grade because it's universal.
Yeah.
Hi, Spyro! Welcome to Glimmer!
It might just honestly be her voice.
Maybe.
Because I feel like in other media that she's been in, when it comes to like Nickelodeon, because I know she's a Nickelodeon voice actress too, she might have had like similar like peaks.
I think I made that joke before to Miharu. I was like, what if like she was peeking and popping like outside of Spyro?
I mean, like her voice. Who is she again? I forget who voicing. Right. I have to look at her roles because she does sound familiar, and I think I could like.
She was Ginger and As Told by Ginger.
Maybe that's what I'm
like
thinking
the biggest
of.
thing.
Because like I feel like there's like another part of media where she was talking and like it sounds very similar to Alora with the peaks and stuff. Hello, this is the real Lex Lang here.
One of the videos I did for her, she was doing a voice comparison video. That was a couple years ago of the original cast. She was gonna do one for Reignited, and she never got around to it. But yeah, I had to go through, and I was like, oh shit, so and so voiced so and so. Like I didn't know that.
Yeah. Also, I wouldn't say that. I just now realized like me going, "Hello, the real Lex Lang here." I wouldn't really say my Cortex impression is of Lex Lang. I've been told a lot that it's like a mix of his and Clancy Brown's.
I
really
can kind of
weird.
hear both. I think the cadence is very much similar to Lex.
Yeah, no, I definitely take a lot of inspiration from Lex, but I love the deep, like, gravelly voice that he got from Brown.
Yeah.
Man, if I could get Clancy Brown to say one thing as Cortex again, you don't know what I'd do. Like, I just would love to hear some of Cortex's lines from Twinsanity and see how Clancy Brown would handle them. Like, I just think that would be funny.
That would be.
But yeah, Spyro, my friend. This is my favorite Spyro out of the three. This is why I wish they got him as past Cortex. They're probably, I don't know if there was like maybe possibly a potential probability that they'd get it. Again, Clancy's a very busy person.
True.
Much like Tom Kenny. But like, I feel like Clancy could be a bit busier at points.
He is a very big name with a lot of roles. And things he's doing.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a matter of things like... Is he a part of a union?
Maybe, but I'm not sure.
Because I know some people, when it comes to voice acting, some companies are like, well, if you're part of a union, well, you know, we don't want to work with you.
This magic portal next to me will take
Hey,
us to
Twitch.
a forest. One of the
Give me a
whole
quick sec. Actually,
Avalar.
I'm gonna pee. I have to urinate.
Alright.
Here.
I don't know if I'll go for 100%. I kind of want to, though. Just because I always find 100% in this game to be fun. Well, until I get to the frustrating parts, obviously. How you doing, Ryan? Hope you're doing well. I'm so tired. And hungry. I have literally slept through breakfast and lunch. But that's okay. We live. Water is my food.
Oh,
Yeah, tell me about these little vermins. Give me. Oh.
nice shooting. Follow me to the next lizard.
Nice shooting, Spyro. Spikes, can you? Oh, there we go. Ouch. No.
You can spit pretty far, Spyro.
Why does he say it with such an exclamation? You can spit pretty far, Spyro. Take that. Alright. I'll catch up with you in a bit. Just gonna go over here and grab these gems. My day's just now getting started. Kind of.
To hit that lizard up
But,
high,
you know,
have to aim.
so far it's
Press and
been
hold the
pretty
triangle
alright. How about
button to
yours?
aim, then press circle.
And then press circle. That's what I've been doing from the beginning. You don't gotta tell me nothing. That's good to hear. That was weird. It's like it auto-targeted him, but it didn't. Glimmer's pretty nostalgic. I do like the vibes of Glimmer. Glimmer feels like a great opening stage. Also makes sense why it would be called Gateway to Glimmer, but you know, over here in the US we gotta go with Ripto's Rage, because it sounds cool. Ouch. Surprised they didn't put any like gyms in like this little small area here. Why am I getting turned around? What is going on? Dang it. Yeah. Music and the gym colors and the calm, pleasant environment. There's quite a few calm, pleasant environments in Spyro 2. I really like Autumn Plains. Summer Forest, I really like the music for. It definitely had a vibe going. And some of that vibe did go into Spyro 3 as well.
Spyro 3.
Spyro 3. Welcome back.
Ooh, tickets are about to be procured for the Deadpool.
Oh, nice. You want to see that today?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Because it's a little cheaper for us.
Right. Sounds good. Well, heard some good things here and there about it.
I'm excited. I'm gonna see it with my mama, because she is a huge X-Men fan.
Oh, nice. I'm not too big into it, so I might just wait for it to go to streaming.
That zapped me.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, was there any like Comic-Con that was announced?
Anything at Comic-Con?
No.
Anything
I haven't really been
don't know.
keeping up with it. I know tomorrow's the last day.
Let's see.
Come over here, little lizard dude. I do like looking up at the starry sky in the skybox.
Yay! You saved my crop of gems from the lizards. Here.
The skybox is just so good.
They are. I mean, I like how they tried to touch it up and reignite it, but I just prefer the OG skyboxes, honestly. Sometimes I feel like the reignited skyboxes feel a little too, I guess, realistic. I don't know.
Let me take a look at some of those.
I don't really feel like a dreamscape like Spyro 2 does sometimes. I'm a faun, you dork. Mike Peak.
Oh no.
I'm a faun, you Mike Peak.
Oh, hello. We didn't get a chance to introduce ourselves before. My name is Alora.
Hi, I'm Spyro. What are you, some kind of goat?
I'm a faun, you dork.
Oh, Sorry.
Did you meet the gym cutters in Glimmer?
Yeah, they gave me a souvenir.
I can't
too.
look at these
They called it
cutscenes
a
again without
talisman.
thinking
They
of
gave you a
fucking MP
talisman?
Carlson's
What? Is it
YTP.
special? I just stuck
Ripto's
it in the
braces.
guidebook you gave me.
There are
fucking
14 talismans
I have
of
been hard to
Avalon,
blame for
and
that,
they
but my
are
god, both
all
versions are
magical.
so fucking
If you can
iconic.
collect enough of them, they can be used to
I love them
defeat
so
Ripto.
much.
Hunter, where have you been?
I got a little lost.
Spyro's going to help us collect the talismans.
You've lived in Avalar for as long as you could remember,
There's no way
Hunter, and you
get to
can't
Dragon Shores right
find
now.
your way to Summer
Ripto
Forest.
and his monsters have taken over the castle here in the Summer Forest.
He has no sense
You're
of
going to have to go
direction.
to Avalar's worlds and convince the inhabitants to give you their talisman. You can keep them in your guidebook.
Hey, I could do that. Why doesn't the dragon just torch
Yo, Frankie, how you
Ripto?
doing?
Hunter, you can't
Yo.
even keep track of your running shoes. How can we
We're
trust
doing
you
pretty
with 14
okay.
talisman?
They still have kind of a wispy feel to them,
If
but
you
I
come
get what you're
across any
saying. They
orbs,
do look
Yeah.
they're
a little
important
wispy.
too, but I'll tell you about them later.
Stream is lagging a
Okay,
bit.
no
Oh, that
problem.
it is.
I'll
It's in
collect
the
a few
red for
talismans,
some reason.
give
That
Ripto the old hot foot,
that
and be in
fucking
Dragon Shores by lunchtime.
finger snap noise. Doesn't even sound like a finger snap.
No more finger snap.
You gotta admit, they got the Eclipse in Dr. Shemp's stage, though, like, very,
Oh yeah,
very
no,
good.
definitely.
That looks
Let me
fucking amazing.
figure out why my OBS is in the red. Let's see.
These seats better be good. Those seats are not fucking good. Not gonna lie, I'm a little peeved. That's lame. Whatever.
That's weird. Oops. Let me see. Yeah, my upload speed is eating it right now. I don't know why. Here, I'm gonna
Is it a
stop
little-
streaming on
little slowly?
Discord real quick. See if that changes anything.
Let's see. Sick.
Nope, still very slow. Hmm.
Why do stream be the slow? Looks fine on my end.
I mean, it is certainly in the red, and I'm doing speed tests, and it's saying I'm only getting 2 up for some reason, so I don't... Maybe there's, like, something wrong with Spectrum right now.
Ooh.
Could be. Who knows? It's always Spectrum. Let's see. Oh, no, it's sunny out. It's not raining. Oops, didn't mean to close out of that. I knew it was going to happen one day.
Dream, don't lag. Where's the QR code?
Summer Force is your favorite homeworld of any Spyro game? It is pretty good. It's pretty good.
Summer Force. Oh, damn.
And it's in the red.
Fuck.
Well. Alrighty then.
I mean, it looks okay on my end. It's clear. The quality is good. The sound's good.
Here, we're just gonna run around Avalar for a second.
Okay.
Or Summer Forest.
Summer Forest.
Summer Forest. Oh no.
Hopefully stuff does not tank.
There is a bit of a stutter.
I mean, I'm watching the stream back right now. It looks fine.
Why does OBS do this?
OBS, why?
Hey, Brexter. Yeah, I guess it looks fine, even though OBS is telling me a completely different story.
Yeah, because, like, the Discord stream is a little stuttery, but the YouTube stream is doing fine.
I'm just ready for it to drop again. Also, was that tree, like, slightly chopped? Oh no, it's a leaf. The leaf is phasing through the tree. Alright. Well, if that's the case, let's continue. Hopefully without any hiccups.
We should be good.
Let me, grab the chat from Twitch.
Today's that kind of day.
Yeah.
We just relax and chill, but also internet is stupid.
That is how it goes. Pop out chat. I mean, I did wake up late, so, you know, start to a good day.
Pretty pog, TBH.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, we're back. We're back for now. I hope it stays stable. But if it doesn't, then we'll figure something out, I guess. It's just gonna be one of those streams. I like how I have to buy swimming from money bags.
Buy the knowledge to swim.
Buy the knowledge to swim, otherwise you will not swim. Hey, Spyro, if you give me 500 gems, I'll tell you that you have to hold your breath underwater to swim.
Wait, shit. I just took it for free.
Like, imagine someone like Moneybags just giving me the most useless advice for the most expensive price. To stay hydrated, you must give me $500, and I'll give you a glass of water.
2,000 gems, and I'll tell you how to turn a key in a slot to open a door.
5,000 gems, and I'll tell you how to press the X button to jump.
I know one of the dragons told you that for free in the last game, but, you know.
This time, we're not handing out freebies, Spyro. You're in debt.
Fucking capitalism. I like the part where you had a jump and glide to get over here, to then go and talk to Hunter so he can teach you how to jump and glide.
Do it now.
My favorite part of this game is when you have to jump and glide over to this
Oh,
area.
yeah. And then you have this whole section with Hunter going like, yo, Spyro, like, I don't know if you knew this, but, like, you gotta jump and glide, man.
You can jump, did you know?
At the peak of your height.
I don't know if that was supposed to be... I don't know if this whole thing is supposed to be, like, satirical.
Hi, Spyro.
It just... The fact that it's, like, required, though, is, like...
Let's try putting it to a test. See if you can get up this
I'm
first
sure
step.
for some,
Press
when they were
X and
developing
hold it
this,
down
they
to get
found
more
it to be
hang
satirical. But they just decided to do it anyway, because the first game, while it does teach you
Okay, not bad.
stuff,
Now to
it's
make this
kind of...
next
I
jump,
feel like
you'll
it
have
can
to
be
glide.
taught out of
Press
order,
X
you know?
to jump, then press X again at the
Yeah,
top of your...
but learning how to jump and glide and everything, especially because you couldn't hover, felt more natural in Spyro 1, especially because
job.
the
Now
first
try to
dragons
do
don't
a
really
hover.
tell you
Press X to
until
jump, then
you go into like a level, but if you're running around Artisans, that's why the hill's there, and that's like one of my go-to, like...
Hunter, you stumped my jump.
That's one of my go-to examples for, like, excellent world building, like, excellent, like, visual tutorials that don't need to, like, tell you anything.
To hover, press triangle.
Yeah.
You just learn, because you're like, what's over there? Do I even have enough of a, like, do I have enough height? Do I have enough distance? And you find out you do, and you're like, okay. The dragons tell you later, but, like, you don't really need to know that
Very
at that point.
good.
I mean, if it's a reminder, sure, whatever. But and they're telling it to you for the first time, but like you would already know because you attempted it yourself and you found it out.
Yeah.
Wow, you're a pretty good athlete. If I hadn't lost my running shoes, I'd take you on for real.
I take you on for real. Running shoes? What? We're jumping. What do you mean? Why would you need running shoes for jumping?
Don't worry, Hunter. We will race you, but yeah, on a skateboard.
Yeah, on a skateboard.
Not a foot
Someday.
race.
Alright. Idle Springs.
If Miharu were here, she'd tell you what you just did was the wrong decision. You should go into Colossus first. Get all the gems. Then you'll have enough to swim. And then you can get everything from here automatically.
Oh, true. True.
but I don't care.
I like
Assuming you're not
that
going for 100%.
I mean, I might. I'm more confident going for 100% with Spyro 1 and 2 than I am with
Spyro,
3 and
the
stuff.
idols we were carving have come to life. They've locked.
I want to know the story of the idols. Why do they leave?
One day. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
mean, there's
story.
obviously got to be some kind of Ripto thing happening here.
Possibly, because what Alora's themes tell us is that not everything was caused by Ripto. Apparently, there was a feud. It's very, very subtle because they never talk about it, but there is something of a feud. I mean, because there's a feud between the Breeze Builders and the
Oh,
Lab
yeah,
Builders.
yeah, definitely.
But there's, because that's made perfectly clear, there's another feud going on between Shady Oasis and Scorch, because Shady Oasis sent Handel and Greta into Scorch. And that's something I think they don't tell you unless you listen to Alora's themes. So that has nothing to do with Ripto.
It's just interesting that, you know, all that's happening and Ripto's just like, I'm gonna take it for myself. Take everything. It's mine.
I'm gonna steal that.
I really like the music for Idle Springs a lot.
Yeah. I forget, I think Fracture Hills had its own theme, but I forget why it went unused. If it did have a theme, I'm not sure if this song was supposed to also show up there as well. Because that's like the only instance of that happening in this game, I think.
I think it's just for probably the sake of, like, I don't know. Maybe the theme that they had composed for Fractured Hills just didn't sound like it fit. I don't know. When it comes to certain, like I don't know. Just certain tracks make it, certain tracks don't. It's super weird.
Most of the original trilogies like that. Spyro 3 had it the worst because of how much they had to rush it.
Yeah.
And so you get all kinds of, I mean, you get the Black Label version in general, which has all kinds of oddities, and then even in the final version, there were a lot of, like, there's a lot of weirdness. Here, though, there are a lot of audio-specific things that happen, which I will obviously, I will definitely be pointing out. They're really funny. It's just, it's weird shit with, like, the dialogue, with, there's just stuff. It's really, really funny. A lot of it's dialogue based.
As per usual. Wanted to say thanks for having me in your upcoming Twinsanity video.
Yes, I asked Frankie if he wanted to participate, and he did.
Participate.
I'm waiting on a few more dudes and see if they can put their submissions in, and then I'm probably gonna call it after those specific guys I'm looking at. If they do or don't get their thing in, then I'll pretty much be done with submissions. And then it's on to the scripting process, which is gonna probably take all August. We'll see.
That. The hula girl's rain dance blew up that idol like a Roman candle.
Did everybody like the Good Burger intro song there? Alright, I think that's all the things for over here. No, it's not.
Show us you're a true G, get the skill point.
skill point. Don't you have to like glide on top of that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's way easier in Reignited.
Oh yeah.
It's actually kind of tough in this one.
Alright. Ouch. Up da.
I like hopping upstairs.
Hop. Hopping upstairs.
It's very fun.
It's the best.
Hop up the stairs, they told me. It's a good workout.
Like the gyms, they said it'd be fun.
But then give them to a fat, greedy bear.
You won't just run away with them at all.
I'm telling you, and it's just, I think I'm alone on this, and I'm perfectly fine with that. You actually made that look way easier than it technically is, because you almost had that like first try.
Yeah.
I think it was the angle in which you went, because the last time I did that, I was like, oh, this is weirder than I remember it. I'm not down this hill. I think the next natural step in progression for Spyro and Moneybags' rivalry is to have a boss fight. I want a boss fight against Moneybags.
He should be a villain. I feel like he should just be the villain of the next game, honestly.
I don't know if I can see him as main villain potential though. Like, as someone who was
like
just
not. I don't know.
thing.
I'd like for him to be the type of person that's like helping you up till a certain point, and then he pulls the rug up from under Spyro. He's like, I was the one behind it all this time. You brought all the treasure to me. It just turns into Clancy Brown Cortex.
Because the more I think about it, it's kind of a Captain Quark situation where like you don't really know at first. He could go either way. He's a little weird, but then like he does have like a villainous little role to play until he realizes, oh, I was in the wrong. I will no longer be a villain.
The line. I mean, he technically is somewhat a villain in 3.
I mean, kind of. He's one of those guys that'll just... I mean, if anything, he's more neutral right now, just because it seems whoever pays him to do shit, he'll just do it. He doesn't care whose lives
well,
he's
yeah, he's more of like an anti-hero at this point. It's like Spyro could promise him a price, and then like someone could offer him another price. And like, all right, I'll just take that instead.
Yeah.
Spyro, you.
Because naturally, with Spyro getting fed up with all this bullshit, and then of course the biggest thing is that you attack him to get your shit back at the end of 3.
Yeah.
So if we ever do see quote-unquote Spyro 4 and it's supposed to take place after 3, then like naturally I feel that's where it would progress. Like, okay, you literally burned me last time, so I'm not really your friend anymore.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Moneybags is such a weird character. Because like I feel like a part of him would understand, like, you know, yeah, you got me, you know, you got me.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah. Of all the characters that she's done, and she just put out a compilation like yesterday, I don't think Miharu's ever touched Moneybags.
He's just I don't think there's really much you could say about him.
Yeah, I mean,
and then like they completely overhaul his character in what, A Hero's Tale. Like he's just completely different.
Yeah.
They changed him for the sake of making a joke that's not even really that, you know, that funny, I guess.
I liked him being a merchant. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I like the fact he was a merchant. I didn't vibe with the fact what the joke was supposed to be.
He's like, hello, Spyro.
Like, they completely changed him just for the sake of being like, oh, he's money greedy. Yeah.
Money.
Colossus is pretty fun.
Concentrating, I should be able to open this
Oh,
door.
wow, 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 wow.
Do you like how no one has accents in Reignited?
Oh yeah, that's true. Don't give them accents.
A lot of characters that had accents, I don't think have one in Reignited.
No. Which is really weird.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, Frankie, it's gonna require a lot of editing. A lot of the scripting is gonna probably take a while. The scripting that's what I'm doing at the moment. Like, currently I'm in the scripting process, but it's gonna be a while because I have to get footage and I have to film some stuff.
When you know how to chant like this.
And I want like a cool little intro sequence at the beginning. So there's a lot that's going into this. There's a lot that's going into this. The video itself is going to feel like a normal Destination Mark video, but the presentation I want it to feel is what I want to feel a little bigger than a normal video.
Each time.
It's going to have a slightly different vibe to it.
Insanity. That is a game I will stream sometime.
Yes.
Yeah, just make sure. I don't know what my favorite level would be from... Oh, no, never mind. I take that back. I do know what my favorite level from Spyro 2 is. These Hurricos.
Hey, look what I can...
Good choice. I wonder if you hit that just right, if it can squish you.
What?
Going on the totem as it's going up, and then see if you can like clip right where the ceiling is on that one bit. Probably not. It would be funny. Yeah, like right in there.
Yeah.
Are you gonna try it?
Yeah, let's see.
It might just clip you, but yeah, it seems like nothing happens.
Sure, if the totem was like a little bit more farther to the left.
Yeah. I know Crash 4 would do some shit like that.
Obviously.
That is one of the weirdest things, because it's all a coding thing. Because people are like, how come only in Crash 4? Like, oh, she sounded funny. Oddity number 1. That's not even Carolyn Lawrence. That's some other like test chick that voiced her, and then they pitched her up.
Huh.
So there are only 3 instances where that happens in this game. It's the one that I think you skipped earlier about the spirit particles. That one, remember Hunter's advice, and then at the very end during Ripto's fight, which it talks about the orbs. They're all not. But the weird thing is, I found this out, and I didn't even know this. There's a demo of Spyro 2. I forget which demo it is. I think it's the one in one of the Crash games. That's probably Crash. I think CTR or something. I think. There's a demo for this, and that line actually is intact because it's said in a different way. And it is Carolyn Lawrence. It's said the way it's supposed to be, and she sounds the way she's supposed to be. She's supposed to sound. So it's really interesting that the demo had it, but then the final game doesn't. It's very bizarre.
I don't know. Maybe they didn't think too much of it, or could have just easily been an oversight. I don't know. Maybe they did something and like potentially could have lost progress. And they had to restart from a different build.
That's valid.
I don't know. There's a ton of factor. I wish they'd do something similar to like the Bandicoot files for Spyro.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. Spyro needs more like.
You 100%ed. You 100% completed Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh, I was like sick.
Your loss of time. There's no way of getting that time back.
Me biting my tongue, about to say something controversial. The one
Boom
time
Rise of Lyric
Sonic
sucks.
The one time I'll praise a Sonic idea and then everyone else fucking hates me for it. Dude.
Oh no, it was a
like,
decent concept. The game just sucks ass.
It only sucks because, you know, it's circumstantial. It's everything that happened to it that Sega put them through.
Like, if it had been what it looked like kind of... with Synergy, I think it would have been okay, but...
Synergy would have been, awesome. If all their concepts were fully realized, that would have been cool, with, like, no hiccups.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I blame both Sega and Nintendo for that failure.
Why Nintendo? Well, I guess
because it was a Wii U, U exclusive, and at the time, you know, there was no information of what the Wii U was capable of, so they just assumed that it would be Crysis Engine 3 compatible, and what do you know, it was not.
Exactly.
Because Nintendo is very scarce about the information that they were handed out about the Wii U. I mean, even scarce to the point where the developers didn't even know anything about it. So, like, you know, it's kind of like a two-team mess-up, in my opinion.
The shitty part, too, though, is that the Switch... Or, sorry, the Switch. What? The fucking Wii U couldn't even be the one to blame for Rise of Lyric because of Lost World. Like... Despite
I know that. I know that, but
that's the part that sucks, though, because like,
Sega should have never gotten into that partnership with Nintendo. That was like the worst deal of all time.
Yeah. Because like, because as you say, everything they tried to do could have been so cool, but they kept getting, you know, fucked over and dicked around at every corner. Synergy. If everything worked for them and Synergy happened, it would have been probably one of the, for me, in my opinion, how I am with Sonic, probably one of the best games I've ever played in the series. But then, like, all that shit happened. So then now with Boom and then having to do it on Wii U, the concept is still really good. The way they were going to handle, or they tried to handle multiplayer was actually, it's a great idea because I've never played a game like that, especially a platformer like action game where it's asymmetrical, so you're not tethered to like the same screen or to a split screen. You can do whatever and go wherever. I mean, as the game's still going to limit you, but like you can still at the very least. Yeah. You know, with whatever the limitations are that the game actually prevents you from doing, at the very least, running around the big areas was cool. It was really cool. No other Sonic games done that before. And so that's why I still like
Frontiers.
Boom. Okay, later, after. The game I did it before. I think I said before.
Well, you know, Lost World did.
Did they? But I don't mean like in an online multiplayer sense or whatever. Was there a local thing?
I don't know. It was a cool concept. It just sucks to see it. I don't know. Playing Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric is like playing Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Which I still need to do. I haven't done that.
Because, like, yeah, it's cool that you have all these open areas you can explore, but they just feel so empty and lifeless. Like, it just doesn't feel right.
I mean, yeah, because it feels like there's supposed to be more, because there was literally supposed to be more.
Yeah. And
They
then,
just had to
like,
make it with what they had.
they did fuck all with Stitch in Rise of Lyric. She wasn't really that big of a main character, even though she was a main character.
I mean, Styx?
Or, yeah, Styx, whatever her name is. I don't care.
I'm like, who the fuck is Stitch? Lilo and Stitch?
Stitch. And then they had that one Bandicoot character that was, like, cool and then not there anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Who also appeared in the TV show for, like, an episode.
I remember that. Oh, what was it? They made the,
Spyro.
They made that...
Fucking butt!
Pick it the fuck up! They have, what's his name? The old Tails-looking guy? Like Clyde or Clive or whatever.
Clyde?
But he couldn't be... He could... So I forget his fucking name.
I don't know who you're talking
He was supposed to be... He's the old Tails. I think he's a fox. He's an old man.
I'm not aware of this character at all.
I sent him to you. I'm sending you Clive. I believe his name is Clive. Okay, apparently it's not Clive. What the fuck is his name? Is it Clyde? No. What the shit was this guy's name?
Cliff?
Old man. Was it Cliff?
Because I know that's like one of the very first things you do in the game. You have to... that mission is so weird because like it's like go to Cliff and like it's like you like
go to a cliff.
Yeah, it's like huh?
Yeah.
And then you finally realize that they mean that Cliff is a person. It's like why would you name a character Cliff in the opening level where there's a canyon with tons of cliffs?
Tons of actual cliffs. Yeah. So apparently he was supposed to be an inventor.
Spyro, why didn't you take the freaking book?
Sega was like, nope, no sorry, you can't do that. Because according to our lore bullshit, only Tails and Eggman can be inventors. That's wrong. And then they were like, okay. And then he's just a guy in the world. Didn't know what to do with him after that.
You're gonna get motion sickness. Okay.
How do we feel about Boom's character designs? Not yet.
I mean, again, interesting. Why?
When everyone hated them. It was like a crash situation.
Well, yeah, because they just look weird.
But they're not even that different.
They kind of drastically are.
The only one who's even remotely drastically different is Knuckles.
I don't know.
Like everyone's
Sonic just looks weird.
People.
Sonic doesn't look the way that I feel like Sonic should.
I think because he's taller and he has the blue arms, which everyone was up in arms about.
The only time blue arms works for Sonic is movie Sonic.
They just look really different. I mean,
I don't know.
No,
I feel like if they
that.
gave him tan arms in the movie, it just doesn't look right.
Yeah, I say that, but yeah, no, they look a little more natural than gold. For me, they look natural and gold. I never had an issue with it. Amy dresses a little differently, but she looks cool. She looks alright.
Tails looks the same.
Yeah, he just has some like gadgets or whatever. They did the Coco thing. I said it did the Coco thing, but that didn't even happen yet. They just put goggles on him. So nice fucking little neckerchief. But then they said let's roid up Knuckles. Also, he's stupid now, and apparently this iteration of Knuckles is the worst according to Fez.
It kind of is. I mean, Knuckles was never really dumb. Like, yeah, he's like a knucklehead and he can be perceived as misunderstanding things, but he's never been like on the level of like, oh, I can't tell what's left from right. And then, I don't know, Metal Sonic just didn't feel like he... I mean, Metal Sonic, I just don't know why they even bothered to include him.
Well, same thing with Shadow. Like, why the fuck is he there?
Shadow was just there because of fan service.
True.
Which probably is the same reason for Metal Sonic, but still, I don't know.
Well done.
It's just a whole mess. The Boom games on 3DS are probably the best iterations of them. It's just they I don't know. It was fun seeing what what some OG Crash developers would do with Sonic, but
yeah, I just wish the idea was fully realized and didn't have all that. There was so fucking much lagging. I hate.
Oh no, 100%. It's just. I don't know. And then I mean, Rise of Lyric was the reason why Sonic was such in a state of like, I don't know, like.
It was like a worse. That was like the worst state that the franchise was in for a while there. Like, that was the first time they'd felt that since arguably, you know, 06.
Oh no, for sure. And I mean, it was so bad that Sega of Japan literally said they were going bankrupt.
Yeah.
Because Boom Rise of Lyric just didn't do well. Or Boom in general just wasn't doing well. And that's when it started to... Because the whole idea behind Boom was to make a new iteration of the franchise that would appeal to the West.
Yeah.
And while it worked, kind of... It just didn't do all that well, and so Sega of Japan more so were like, okay, well then, you know, Sonic must just not be as popular over there anymore.
Yeah.
So when it came to Sonic games and more Sonic games, like they would, it at times felt like they would be undercutting the budget for some of them. Because they would, like, you know, they don't want to put all their eggs into one basket. If the franchise that they thought was doing well isn't. But, like, yeah, as Braxter saying, I'm glad we're moving into a different era now where they've finally realized that Sonic does appeal to the Western audience, especially with the movies. Like, the movies is what completely turned them around of that idea. And I'm sure if the movie had flopped, then Sonic would definitely not be doing so well right now.
I mean, Frontiers definitely helped from the perspective of the games.
Oh no, definitely, and they took a lot of inspiration from the movies specifically for Frontiers. In Frontiers, if I'm correct, remember hearing they said that was going to be the last game if it flopped. That they would just put Sonic on ice for a bit.
Yeah, that's what I remember Fez saying.
Because they released some, I think it was like from an interview, like with some people. Power boost mode. Talk about Frontiers.
I do wish that the Boom stuff could have, because the goal was that stuff was supposed to like coincide with the main Sonic.
Oh yeah, no, because they wanted to. So like, they had plans of making 3 different versions of Sonic. They had Boom Sonic, which was supposed to be appealing to the younger audience and just the Western audience in general who weren't really that into Sonic. You had Archie Sonic when they still had Archie doing the comics, which was supposed to appeal to those who like the comics and whatnot. And, you know, on top of that, like Archie Sonic or movie Sonic, I'm not. The second Sonic was supposed to be like a Sonic that was from media, and then you had modern Sonic, who would be tackling more adult, like targeted audience. Like he would have more darker toned aspects and whatnot, sort of similar to like Frontiers. Sonic verse. But yeah, I mean, back then, that was, God, 2014. Can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah, I wish Boom could have coincided. And again,
but I mean, it seems they're trying. It seems they're trying to make 3 Sonics again. Because now we have classic Sonic back, and they're doing more things with classic Sonic. So they're trying to make classic his own thing. And then you have modern Sonic, and then you have movie Sonic. Where am I missing?
Oh, the inside?
Statue.
Where the inside of the little building?
This one?
No, the one, with the one over there. Yeah.
Over here?
Yeah, on the bottom. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just the gameplay idea was for
Well
Rise of
done,
was so
Spyro.
good.
You've
To
scared
me,
the evil spirit
it was
away.
really good.
Why don't you
A lot of
take
people
this?
were like,
I borrowed it from
"Why
the
would you play the
temple.
Sonic game when you
Yeah,
don't
they
go
don't
fast?" And
need
it's like, dude, listen. Every time I try to play a Sonic game that has the speed and it's all about speed, I can't get into it. This
Okay,
having
hold on.
speed elements and then but being like a beat 'em up platforming whatever first and foremost, that was fucking awesome. I was like, you know what, I can get into this. Happens to be the one that sucks and everyone hates, and I'm like, God damn it. I can't win with these people. I can't.
Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is peak confirmed. They just confirmed that OG Dragon Ball characters are going to be in it now.
Oh,
I am absolutely... Oh, God. The best news of all day.
Nice.
Peak. Absolutely peak. Hell is Al? I thought Al was on vacation today. What's going on? Anyway, we should have 3 versions of Spyro and 3 versions of Crash.
We do have 3 versions of Spyro. Classic, Legend, and Skylanders. Although one of them's both.
We should have new 3 versions of Spyro.
Yeah. What was your 3 versions of Spyro, babe?
Spyro 1, Spyro 2, and Spyro 3.
Nope. Spyro 1, please. Why?
Tambourine, yes. I can't wait. Oh, I've been wanting OG representation for Dragon Ball for so long. I just got into the franchise. It's actually surprising how little they reference it.
Yeah.
Hello there, Spyro.
What Crash Bandicoot told to Sonic what not to make the same mistake on what Crash went through if Sonic Frontiers didn't sell well. Sonic would have went on hiatus for a few years. I don't even think a few years. I think they would have just went for a while. I mean, Sonic definitely would be getting like a huge reboot right now.
Yeah.
Spyro.
I'm just glad that, again, we're finally getting somewhere with it. I mean, there's a lot that I was hoping that they tackle a little bit more before introducing Shadow or reintroducing Shadow to the franchise, but I'm okay with it. Because, like, there's still a lot of unanswered questions about Knuckles' past that I feel still needs to be touched upon. But it makes sense. But it makes sense that they'd go for Shadow first because he is the second. I mean, he might as well just be the all-time favorite at this point.
I've been locked in here with all our tools.
Because when people think Sonic and their favorite characters, you know, it's either going to be Sonic or Shadow.
Damn.
Wow,
Easy peasy.
Spyro.
Well,
I like Blaze, but that's because I'm an idiot.
Blaze is a good character. I don't see why. Do people hate her?
Because I'm predictable.
Oh.
No, I don't know if people hate her, but you know.
I know people want them to do more stuff with her. It's just very difficult. I think. I don't know. Blaze is in a weird position.
This idol says
Everything that she's like in is either stuff that people don't really care about or bad games. No sex.
I don't know. It's just so weird because, like, her story's all over the place.
I don't even know the full story. I would like to.
Well, from my understanding,
she's like a princess or something. That's all I know.
From my understanding, she exists in a dimension that's separate to Sonic's. Oops. God dang it, stop giving me Rickfish. She exists in a dimension that's supposed to be similar to Sonic's, in a sense, I think. And in Rush, Eggman got in touch with his, like, other half from that dimension, and they're trying to merge the dimensions together to rule together, and obviously that has the effect of quite literally trying to rip the entire world apart.
Nice.
It's just very confusing because, like, at the end of it, everything goes back to normal. Like, they save it and everything. Like, her dimension's back and One Piece and all that kind of stuff. And then Rush Adventure happens where they go to her dimension, I think. I don't know.
Okay,
And then there's,
Spyro,
like,
just one
I
more
don't know.
puzzle to
It's
go.
so all
I'll
over
meet
the
you
place
over by
with
the colored
Blaze.
stones where you
Like,
find
I
the
don't
chapel.
even think they know. Because, like, then
Probably
you have
not.
06. You have 06 where Blaze is there with Silver, which doesn't make any sense because why would Blaze be there with Silver? You know?
Yeah.
And the entire time, the big theory that... Oh, I was about to say, where'd the music go? I was like, why is it so quiet? But the big theory is that Blaze is like a hallucination to Silver throughout the entirety of 06 because, like, she doesn't interact with anyone other than Silver. Like, even Sonic, like, doesn't mention Blaze being there at certain points, and it's like, well, you know, it would make sense. But then 06, like, everything with 06 rewrote the timeline or reset the timeline and stuff like that. And so, like, now, like, I guess Blaze's dimension doesn't exist or something like that. I don't know. And I think the comics tried to describe it, but, like, you can't even say that the comics that tried to, like, explain it are, like, canon still because they were Archie. I'm surprised that a Blaze spinoff hasn't happened.
It should. It would make things hopefully a lot less confusing. And then, You can focus on. I mean, if anything, I think. I don't know if it's the general consensus, but there are a couple of people I've seen where they're like, "Hey, she's like probably one of the best playing characters, like best feeling characters to control in 06." And I think it's one of the only times in a 3D game that she's been playable.
She's only got like
I
one
could completely be
stage.
wrong, but yeah, no, for real.
If you jump.
Oh well, I guess two if you count the end of the world. I don't know the pattern. Okay, there it is. Yay!
Nice.
Nice job, Spyro.
You've done it.
You did it.
Here's a trophy. I mean, I'm more.
Yeah, here's a trophy. Don't ask where I got this from. It's just a Crash Team Racing trophy. Don't ask where I got this from, but here's a trophy.
I stole this from the other studio.
I mean, again, I'm not too caught up with the Blaze lore. I just know that, like, she's just been all over the place. I don't think it's ever really been fully explained.
Damn shame.
But I'd really like for them to explain Silver.
Yeah, Silver just fucking showed up one day and was like, "You, I'm taking you out."
Like, obviously, we all know that Silver is Trunks, but, like, I don't know. The reason for him going back to the past so often is because he'll go back to the future, and then, like, if something goes wrong, another time portal opens for him to go through it and figure out what's going on. So, like, he's just always patrolling, I guess. Always time patrolling.
FaceTime call.
Space-time colony. Alright, let's see. I'd really like a Spyro movie. That'd be fun.
I wonder what they would do for a Spyro movie.
Ripto. Oh, you
That's the safe thing to do.
Or another animated series would be nice.
I think, for me personally, as much as cool, I should say, as having a Crash or Spyro movie would be, I think the both of them work better if they just went on episodic adventures in a show. Because you could do a lot more with it, and sure, that means the general audience probably keyword won't get into it so quickly, but the fans are definitely going to be there for it, because they'll be like, oh shit, you know, we haven't gotten like a Spyro show, or like having no Crash show at all, so that would be really cool. Because a movie, you gotta sell the fucking like general audience on it. It's gonna be everywhere, and you're gonna probably have to fucking have them all voiced by celebrities, and most likely, unless some of their actors just happen to be celebrities, which I think is why Legend of Spyro was probably gonna end up working so well in that department, to just get whoever was voicing whoever at that time.
Oh, wait. 25 years.
25 years.
Ooh. Yeah.
Don't remind me.
It's been 25 years.
God damn it.
I just want the best for these franchises. I don't know why anybody that owns them doesn't.
Yeah, no. I don't know why the fans don't. The fan base. Follow communities. That's all I always say. Fuck the fan base.
Like, I'm open to new ideas as long as it just keeps the core, like, thing intact.
That's the thing too. See, because nobody, and I'm talking mainly again fans, fucking nobody seems to agree on what that even is. I mean, the only thing that they do agree on is the classics. But then when you bust a game out that's new and modern, that plays or feels like the classics, and they'll still be like, well, yeah, but how come they don't jump as high as they did here? Or how come you can't such and such like you could in Spyro 2? Or that's what they did with Crash 4. They were like, Crash 4, there was the whole fucking art style debacle. Then there was...
Which I still don't understand to this day, but, you know, go off.
I don't. It was stupid. The whole thing was stupid from the get. It was so dumb. It was pointless. Of course, the difficulty is something to be critiqued, but I don't think it's something to complain about.
I don't know. I'm indifferent when it comes to Crash and difficulty, because, like, well, yeah, the whole point of the game is to go and collect all the crates and such, and, you know, aim for that 100% and extra change. Like, that's not my go-to. You know, like I'll do it eventually, but, like, when I'm playing a Crash game, like, and it's brand new, I know I'm not going to be able to get everything on the first try. It's like, I'll just go back and do it, or figure out how to do it. But for some, it's just like, no, I can't go past this level until I've gotten everything.
I think that's the exact thing, too, that Christopher Bob, like, caught a lot of veterans with, is that, oh, if you think, yeah, I'm just gonna, you know, grab everything in this level and move on. There are times where, like, it's gonna take you a while because of how hidden stuff is and how the enemy placement is, like the obstacles and everything.
For games trying to buy... Go on.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say was for Spyro, like, Spyro needs to be more... If we ever do see Spyro again, it has to be a more casual experience. And that doesn't mean, like, easy baby mode. I'm just saying, like, these games, for being more open and having more to do in them than a Crash game, you know, for what it's worth, like, it needs to feel chill, and it's... Because look at this, like, right now, as, you know, you haven't had to, like, have any... I know we're in the beginning of the game, but of course, like, you don't have to have any, like,
objects are impervious to fire.
Crazy moments of, like, concentration, right?
Charge them with your head, though.
SpongeBob. But in Crash, maybe you would, right? Like, even if it's OG Crash, like, maybe you'll need, like, a moment to be like, let me just get through this, like, death race.
Well, I mean, then that's just the way that Spyro and Crash are. They're polar opposites of one another.
Yeah.
Like, Spyro is the more laid-back, chill type game. And Crash is just, you know, difficulty. Like, can you make it through this difficult level without dying once?
Precise platform. Because I want them to, like, try and do new things with... I would like for the Spyro formula to be shaken up just a smidge. And by shaken up, I really just mean, like, find things that would naturally work to kind of, like, give Spyro more of a toolkit, or maybe get more usage out of the level design, more exploration.
Well, see, with Spyro, I would expect the natural progression of Spyro to just end up becoming, like, some kind of, like, not open world, but kind of open world game.
Yeah,
like, sort of similar to, like, Bowser's Fury. if I had to give an example.
Uh-huh.
I could see Spyro going in a direction like that, where it's like open, but you have, you know, separate areas that you can just fly to or
that would be cool, yeah.
get to, and it's, I mean, it's all loaded in and such like that.
And that idea feels like an extension of Hero's Tale, because Hero's Tale didn't go for that fully, but it was the first and only Spyro game to have these integrated, well, rather, sorry, interconnected, like, worlds. You weren't going through portals. And the thing is, too, I think the
like, you could still use portals.
Yeah, no. I think in this idea, how you're saying, for it to be more open than it's ever been, but not a fully, like,
yeah, I don't think a full-fledged, like, open world Spyro game would be, I mean, like, maybe it would sell, but I don't think I'd have fun with it.
It would have to be very specific, and by that I mean, to have an open world to run around, anyone can do that, but to have it stick out, it has to still feel like Spyro. Sonic, you know, with Frontiers, actually made that work, because when I first took a look at that, I was just like, it's Breath of the Wild Sonic. But then when actually playing it, I'm like, okay, it does still feel like a Sonic game. It's just more open.
Yeah. Oh,
so
it's interesting that you say that it feels like a Breath of the Wild. I know that's what everybody compares it to, but the more I play that game, the more I just feel like it feels like Spyro. It just feels like, I don't know, it's really weird. It just feels like a Spyro game.
I keep forgetting what fucking game I did end up comparing it to in the end after actually having a little bit of experience with it, but there was a different game I was comparing it to.
Was it Odyssey?
Maybe.
Because I know a lot of people compared it to Odyssey. I just, just the entire, like, thing with Frontiers, it reminds me of Spyro 1. And maybe it's just because you can run around and can do these different things, and you can do the levels in completely different orders. Like, it just felt like Spyro 1. Especially with all, like, the green scenery and such. Like, it just, I don't know. I got heavy Spyro vibes from it, and every single time I say that, people look at me weird. But, like, it's just all the different things you can do in it. Like,
no, for sure. And the thing too is, I think a Spyro game like that could probably even, or rather the way you were saying before, could probably work if they did take a page out of Frontiers' book. Because what Frontiers does that I do like, in the sense that, like, it's gonna have to be a little opposite for Spyro. I'll get to that in a minute. I'll clarify. But, like, what Sonic Frontiers does, which I appreciated, because I don't care much for the linear, speedy, let's go mock segment gameplay. It's something more like Generation, something more like, I don't know, fucking, I'm trying to think, I wouldn't say colors. No, something more like Generations, I guess, is the first thing that came to mind. I don't really care for that kind of gameplay for Sonic, but how they implemented it into Frontiers, it's a lot more streamlined. Those levels are shorter. You have little tiny goals to, like, you know, go for. So that was actually kind of cool. And it's a little sketch in the control department, just a little bit, at least for me, but it's not that bad. But the main areas, the main islands, you just get to roam around and do shit. So I think that could kind of work for Spyro, as you're saying. Entire giant homeworlds like that. Because that's what you're doing even in these games. You know, you have artisans, you have forests to run around, and then you've got your portals that interconnect to the levels themselves. So you can do something similar. You can have a giant ass open, huge homeworld, and you can do some cool shit and do whatever and collect and help some stuff and find secrets. But then you still have a reason to go through portals, because that's Spyro's bread and butter, is having the portals, and then it'll take you to levels, and levels can be bigger because of, you know, tech and stuff, and they're gonna want to, they would want to do, I would feel, you know, have like big ideas and shit. So you can have the levels feel bigger in their own right, and feel more, for lack of a better word, linear, even though it's not really. They can still be open, but, like, they'll have the more strict platforming. They'll have, like, you know, stuff like this where you have to help out dudes and whatever. But the homeworlds could be like their own beast entirely, where you're just, like, going around, and it could be like Spyro 1 even, where you're just no real, like, vehicle things to do, or no real, like, helping dudes out, you're just running around collecting shit and finding secrets in the home worlds. Like, that would be cool to see.
Spyro's just designed for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It needs to feel chill. It can have its like really cool moments and its action-packed bits, because plenty of Spyro games have that. But like overall, it needs to feel like a vibe. I think because Spyro is like a vibe. It's like Brackstar saying, what was it earlier? I need to get more into Spyro games. You guys seem passionate about the series. No, for real.
I mean,
I love Spyro.
For me, I'll be honest, I didn't really care about the series that much until I played 2. Like, it took me forever to even play 1. And then after I beat 1, I played 2, and then, like, that's when it just instantly clicked for me.
I'm glad that at such a young age I got introduced to them like chronologically, because I still do really love Spyro 1. Because it's just a vibe. Like, that's why I'm saying like Spyro is a vibe, and the first game nails it. And the only other game that's come close, in my opinion, to just being a vibe is, ironically, probably Hero's Tale, because it has a lot of Spyro 1 inspiration in it. You can just tell. Like, it took what people like about, 2 and 3 with, like, a couple different little vehicle-esque things, or, like, playing as a couple different characters, and they put that in there as well. But the majority of my experience, when Miharu and Fez joined me for my stream series on Hero's Tale, most of it was blind. The only parts I had only ever gotten when I was younger, as far as Dragonfly Falls, and then I had no idea you had to fucking, like, take the professor's, like, fucking teleporter to go to the next area or some shit. Like, I didn't know any of that, so like it took a while for me to actually, like, it took me until playing it on stream to actually beat the game. And even though the game has jank, obviously it's not gonna say it's perfect, it was still a really like, I got a little bit of whiplash, quite honestly, because I had already liked what I'd played when I was a kid. But since I didn't get that far, I didn't know really the scope of the game. And so playing it on stream, past Dragonfly Falls, everything else was blind. I was like, you know what? I'm just digging this, because it feels like, for the majority of my playthrough, I didn't play as, Blink, or I think I did. No, I didn't play as Blink at all. I did a couple Sparks minigames, and I didn't do any Speedways as Sergeant Bird. But I played the bits that you had to play as, that they made you do as Hunter, and that was okay. Yeah. And I'm just like, you know what, like, having like a couple bits that do take you away from Spyro is refreshing, but the fact that most of it is just Spyro and you're just platforming, like, and they give you new abilities and stuff to string, like the movement tech is actually pretty cool. I'm like, it doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be fast-paced or like, vigorous. It just has to work, and it has to like mesh with the level design, and it does for the most part. But the majority of it does in Hero's Tale, and that's why I think I love it. I think that's the best Spyro game, like, outside of Insomniac's trilogy. I'll probably die, and I'll probably be an odd one out for that, but just from that one.
I don't know. I mean, as much as I know, people don't really like most post Insomniac Spyro games. I think Hero's Tale gets a lot of praise.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've heard more mixed things than like solely positive. But people will say, "Yeah, I liked it." Others will say it sucked, and then a lot of people are like, "It was alright."
It's just because I haven't really played it all that much. I just know that it's just so interesting to see how, like, I guess parallel Crash and Spyro were at the times. Because, like, you had Year of the Dragonfly, which was supposed to be, like, Spyro 4.
Yeah.
Into the Dragonfly, whatever it's called. And that sort of felt like, I guess, 3, in a sense. And then you had, you know, Crash Wrath of Cortex, which also felt like Crash 3. And then you have A Hero's Tale, which is open level design, you know, you get to play as different characters and whatnot. It sort of feels like the same vibe of Twinsanity a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I essentially nicknamed it. I personally nicknamed it Spyro Twinsanity because it feels a lot like that.
Yeah, it definitely has a lot of similarities to Twinsanity in level design and how they handle things.
The tone, the humor.
And then even past that into like the Minor Mutant and Titans era for Crash, Legend of Spyro felt like those games.
Yeah. It had a lot of familiarity, but it felt different and it felt a little bigger. That's what I like about Legend, is that the exact thing people don't like about it is the thing that I like about it, is that it feels, it's a fucking reboot. It's supposed to feel different. It's a retelling. And the fantasy, like the full fantasy vibes, just work for something like Spyro. Like, I've always been curious to see how that would play out, and the closest thing we have is Legend. So I don't care how hokey it is or how bad the voice acting is, whatever you want to say. Like, I think that idea is really cool. Plus, it gave me one of the fucking coolest segments, I'm gonna say, in any Spyro game, period, is when you, in Eternal Night, when you're flying from airship to airship and you're taking out like the armada. It's fucking dope. It's cool. That segment is fucking, like, visually, it's amazing. The feeling, that exact feeling that these games wanted you to feel from making your first glides or whatever, like gliding from airship to airship, and it's in real time and there's no cutscene, you're playing it, like, it's so fucking good. Like, I want more shit like that. I need more of that, and if you want to inject something like that into a classic Spyro, fucking go for it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
well, I don't think they're going to be scared to do anything like that. I don't think so, because even with 4, like, you still had some callbacks to Titans and Minor Mutant, so like,
I'm glad. I'm so glad that Twister Bob and like King and all them and Beanox, it started bringing Beanox. They're not ashamed of like the franchise, and they don't really care what the mixed reception is, people's or the, you know, naysayers think. They're just gonna go for like celebrating everything that this series ever did, which includes Titans and includes Wrath of Cortex and includes Boom Bang, even though Boom Bang is still the one in all the Crash stuff. That game still hasn't gotten any love, and I'm over here like, okay, I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm like, yo, okay, maybe just give it a crumb, acknowledge it in some shape or form.
No, that game doesn't deserve anything, in my opinion.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm just like, hey, so I wanted the fight.
As far as I'm aware, that game doesn't exist. That's the only Crash Bandicoot game made by Dimps. Dimps should have never touched the Crash property.
I did legitimately want the Viscount as a racer in Nitrofield.
I mean, yeah, like, if you're gonna take anything from that game, just do him as a character. But even then, like, I don't know. I don't really care enough.
I mean, sure. I mean, he probably would have had something of a fan base, especially after the fact that he came from such a bad game, because Nitrofield succeeded in giving a lot of just no-name characters like a fan base, something to attach to, and you know, Yaya now has a fan base. And who the fuck she was. Rillaroo.
I'm just surprised that they didn't do Willy Wonka Cheeks. That's like the one thing that I'm just honestly shocked about.
I was really hoping that he'd get some love.
Aww.
So yeah. Hey, look, precise platforming.
Yeah. And Spyro. Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing with Yaya was actually really crazy for me, because like, who's gonna even know? Like, who? Who knows? Yeah. And Megamix was even more of a deep cut.
That was a good one. I was really hyped for Megamix. That was the first time that Grand Prix, the Wrestling Grand Prix, was the first time I received stuff to show off early.
Nice.
So I knew about that like a week or so before that shit dropped.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh my fucking god, dude, he looks awesome. I was like geeking out. I was geeking out hard.
Just so shocked that they would even go as far as referencing something like that. I mean, that reference still carries over because there's a reference to him in Crash 4.
Yeah. That's why I'm glad that it wasn't just Beanox, like everyone, like I was saying, after Vivi, with starting with Beanox, and then you got Keen doing their thing, and then Twister Bob, like they, wherever it's, you know, wherever they're able to do it, they're not just doing it for the sake of, we're gonna just throw this reference in randomly. Wherever they can put a little tiny cameo bit or whatever, they'll do it, and they're not afraid to do it. That's the cool part.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing, devs were afraid to do shit with Crash, and that's why everyone complains about all the middle shit after everything before the hiatus, before Insane, but after fucking Crash 3 or CTR. Everything else is so debatable, and I hate that those games, even to this day, are still debatable, whether this one was good, this one sucks, this one's bad, this one's completion's bullshit, this one's completion's bullshit, but this game in general sucks. This one in general is okay, I guess. Like, there is still so much fucking, like, gray area for all those games in between, and the exact reason I feel why all that even happened is because Universal were the first ones to kind of kickstart that by trying to kind of put a clamp on what Crash and Spyro are supposed to be and what they're not.
Spyro.
And they were like the original, like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that because this is what they're supposed to be, and if it's too different, people are not going to like it. And because Mark Cerny wanted to make an open world Crash game before Twin Sanity, that was what Wrath of Cortex was supposed to be. And if it weren't for Universal, that would have happened, and Crash could have evolved way earlier than he actually did. Yeah. But a lot of those games stayed the same because they were too afraid, and they were told to just, you know, make it more like what people are already familiar with. So when you get something really different like Titans, like, I still love it because it's something new and it's something different. Everyone else is like, why the fuck does he have tattoos? And they'll just say the game sucks. Why is he beating up people? It's like, the fuck? I'm over here like, yeah, but he can still spin and break crates, idiot. There's still one.
I know the biggest thing driving these games is nostalgia, but like,
for sure,
there's just got to be a point where you just have to draw the line, you know? You just gotta be like, okay, you know.
Gotta make a statement.
Yeah, see you later, Braxter.
So you're
not fucking doing this today. John! Aaron!
I haven't seen that episode of
This is gonna be my favorite Game Grumps episode of all time. That's probably the best moment I'll ever know them for. I mean, they do have some good moments with Dan, but like that moment was just iconic.
The whole playthrough is iconic. I really do wish they were able to finish it before he left.
I think they finished it up with Dan.
No,
for sure
Dan said
did they not go back to it?
No, Dan said he made a statement to he wasn't going to go back to it because he wasn't there for, like, you know, the journey, and so he doesn't want to, like, finish what John started.
Do like a couple of more episodes, but I guess they stopped.
They did like most other Sonic games together. They did Boom. They did
because I think
Colors,
like they had
Colors
something.
Ultimate.
They had something like Wendy's, where Wendy's was like, yo, if you guys finish Sonic 06, then maybe we'll do something together. I don't know.
I remember that. I don't know if it was Sonic 06 though.
I feel like it was Sonic 06.
I mean, people have made it a big fucking deal, and I for sure would have heard of it if they went back to 06.
I don't know. I'll have to revisit. I haven't been catching up with them in a while. I think the last thing I watched them play was their Sunshine playthrough.
That sounds about right.
And then I tried watching them play Spider-Man PS4, and, you know, I couldn't. I couldn't. When the game was specifically telling Aaron where to go, and he kept swinging around and being like, I don't know where to go. It's just like, Aaron, you're killing me.
That's just kind of their thing now.
Oh, I know.
Modern,
like it's funny. It's funny for some games, but other games, it's just like, come on, man.
Modern Game Grumps is something to behold. I don't know.
It really is. It's very, very different.
Well, yes, for sure. it's not the same. Sometimes it can kind of almost feel like it is. What was the last playthrough they did? I'm scrolling through their channel right now. What was the last playthrough they did where I felt that it felt like an early Dan era playthrough or some shit?
I really like their Wind Waker playthrough.
Their Wind Waker playthroughs is fun. Let me see.
Don't poke me with the spikes, no. It's me.
Let's see. There was one fucking playthrough they did recently. I guess Mario Wonder was kind of like that because they hadn't really played a Mario game in full in a while, and when that had just dropped, they were really, actually they weren't quick on it immediately because they were doing other shit. Plus they were playing Tears of the Kingdom at that point.
Did they actually play Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah, they finished it.
Huh.
The Breath of the Wild playthrough was pretty funny too. I like that playthrough. Yeah, but mainly when I go back, funny enough, I actually find myself, I think, watching a lot of John era stuff.
I mean, those are usually the nicer things to go back to, I'd say.
Just because they were insanely like chill and there wasn't any craziness yet. And the early Dan stuff too felt because of that slow transition. The early Dan stuff feels like the John stuff because all that literally changed was just the co-host, but over time, obviously, a lot of stuff like their vibe kind of changed a little bit.
Oh yeah, no,
now
definitely.
Now it's Aaron bad at video game. Dan punish him like mother. What?
Punish him like mother.
He says, Aaron, why did you do that? And he's like, I don't know, the game didn't tell me where to go. And the game's like, go here. And then
seems to be modern Aaron for you. You know, I'm surprised that they're still going.
Oh, I am too. I am very surprised they're still going.
Like, I would have thought, like, maybe a year or two ago, they would have been like, all right, we're retiring.
No, Aaron's been on record saying they're gonna keep it going for as long as they're still interested in doing it.
I'm surprised their interest is still peaked. Because as of recent, in my opinion, I just don't think the gaming space has been the best as of right now.
It's definitely different. I find that a lot of stuff like that, and that just comes with time and, you know,
it definitely
age.
does. It's just, I don't know, it's just hard to, I guess, find games to do, like, especially for like playthrough channels, because their bread and butter are platformers, and obviously, you know, indie teams are a thing, but like, you know, what if they cover an indie game that's not really that popular or something like that, and like it doesn't get much searches, and it's just like, I don't know, it's super weird.
Yeah,
it's definitely a weirder landscape right now, because like with as little as platforming is, like who's gonna sit around and watch like a first person shooter story mode over and over again, you know?
Yeah, that's true. It would have to, and that's why the people, you know, who are doing the commentary have to be as interesting as the game, because either you're there for the game, you're there for the commentary, or you could be there for both. I don't know. I want to see like some type of like, I don't know why this needs to be a thing, but some type of graph or whatever that literally does show like on YouTube and in the world of like video game playthroughs, like how, like, the importance of the 3, right? Like
Right.
how much do
Yeah.
people actually sit and watch something for the game? How much do they sit and watch specifically because it's someone they know, or just someone they happen to like, even if they're not very well known Let's Players or whatever? Or who comes for both because, oh shit, my favorite guys are doing my favorite game, or whatever the case may be, right?
Right.
Because I feel like those do matter.
I mean, for sure. I don't know. And then plus, like, with the recent rise, I mean, current downfall, even though it's still on the rise of live service games.
Yeah, which would then lead me to say that's why I think streamers are really, this is like the era of streaming. Because
Oh, for sure. Because
long
like,
form content is like what algorithmically like gets,
it's what YouTube's been promoting a lot recently.
Yeah.
It's just,
so if you
I don't see how
But-
anybody could stand long form content like that though.
Because people like podcasts and people don't have much else to do with their time, and when they do, like if they're cleaning the house, going to work, doing whatever, they could just throw something on and listen to them bicker or whatever.
I suppose. It's just really, I don't know. Like, yeah, it could be seen as a podcast of some form. Sure.
Even what we're doing right now, literally right now, someone, I even have like my friend Zark, will be like driving from work or some shit. He'll have like our streams on because we're just talking.
Which
So,
I
like,
mean
when
is nice, you know. It's great to have something on in the background, especially if you're lurking. I used to do that a lot. It's just long form content, especially for those who just actually watch it. I don't see how they can.
It's interesting. I mean, you would think in some instances it is helpful, I guess, for the algorithm. But if you notice any remaining like very significant Let's Play channels or playthrough channels or whatever, that their version of long form content is that instead of, because Green Grumps are doing it too, and I'm doing it. I'm trying to do it anyway on Vid Games, which is my playthrough channel. We used to do like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 18 minutes, like 20 at most, at the longest, back in the day, like 10 odd years ago. But now, episodes for playthroughs go for like 40, 50 minutes, almost an hour long.
Oh, I know. And like, there's even been like a small trend that's kind of died out. Well, say kind of died out. That still people are trying to hop onto, but it's like sleep channels.
Oh yeah.
Which, I mean, doesn't really work out that well unless you're already a well-known person, I feel. Because, like, who's gonna sit and listen to a compilation video of just some random guy talking about Crash Bandicoot for, like, an hour or so, unless they are, like, Ant Dude.
Caddy Carlos. I know Caddy was doing the sleep-based stuff.
Yeah, Ant Dude's doing it. Dicarus is doing it.
Mihara was doing it for a while too. She was, I think, putting some of her videos to The Sound of Rain, and she would just do like a mega like comp.
Yeah. I mean, that's usually what it is. It's usually just the comp channel, but like it's designed to be for like if you were to go to sleep watching the content.
Yeah. And I think too for like AirPod users or whoever else, like you could like be laying there, and then not only are you having like, because you would have to like, and that's where like I think like audio stuff needs to come into play, because like if I were, for example, I've been contemplating it, I just haven't done it yet, so I'm not sure if I want to, but if I were to, I would say, yeah, obviously throwing a comp together isn't enough. Even just putting rain effects over might not fully be enough. I would go the full mile and like put a little bit of like soft reverb, maybe like a low pass filter, and just make it feel a bit, maybe throw a little bit of lo-fi in the back, just so you could still hear like the commentary, but then have a little bit more, so that way your mind can focus on different things, or just gel to the general soft. It has to sound soft. The general soft sound of the whole thing. It has to be that. So that way you're still getting the content, but then you're getting what the actual sleep aid is which I feel is the rest of the sounds. So it's almost like an ASMR like thing, but it's with someone's or with your own content. I mean, that's how I see. That's how I would do it. But obviously, that's neither here nor there.
I mean, I've thought about it. It's just, I don't know, very particular.
It's really funny that we talk about that because right now I'm scrolling through YouTube's homepage. Calming Minecraft music for studying and sleep, 10 hours.
Well, see, then you also have those like 24-hour streams.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of, yeah, those videos get recommended a lot. 80s lo-fi radio mix, chill beats to relax, 12-hour comp. So as long as you make it an experience, I can see, like, why you'd want to invest your time rather, to, like, do it. But if it's for the sake of getting on the trend, then don't bother.
Hunter, where'd you go?
Boing.
Boing.
Silly sounds.
To make with your mouth. Oh.
Great job, Spyro.
Great
job, Spyro.
She says, I'm quite funny.
Alright. First speedway done.
Going for the speedways, I see.
Ouch. Okay. Oh, the spark's not. Okay.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't for orbs.
That's a weird thing not to want to pick up. Sparks, are you on my side or are you on Ripto's side? What's going on, bud? Hold on, moneybags. I'll get you your rubies.
I like how some of the gems, some very select gems in Reignited,
Hey, Spyro,
Sparks just won't pick up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've had that happen a lot.
And I'm like, whoa!
Sparks, it's right there!
It's right there! I think it's overlapping collision?
Could be. It's just the way that they program it. I've had that happen a couple of times. Just the OG trilogy sometimes, though. Especially with one.
Really?
Yeah, like just recently there have been times where I'm just standing right next to a gym and Spark's just like, huh? Just like, what are you trying to get me to do? I know there's a green gym in front of me, but like, what do you want me to do? Some of these intros are just so dark.
A lot of them are fucking dark. It's
especially
amazing.
the caveman ones.
Yeah. Any of them where they're abusing one another. It's like, how the fuck did... Having one or two instances is fine, but there's like at least 5. Or someone kills someone else on screen.
It's bizarre. You can't do stuff like this in children's games anymore.
Yeah, you certainly can't, because some of them are censored and reignited. Like the random moment in Haruko's when he just slaps the other one on the back and he falls over, they changed that to them high-fiving, and it's like, why did you change that? It's not even like that violent. It's funny.
Yeah, slapstick humor is very all over the place in the industry, I feel. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you certainly can't do a lot of stuff anymore that you could like 20 years ago. And that sounds funny saying that now, because I think even back then, with what we had, I'm sure people our age then were saying the same shit. Or you can't do that now.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. But I mean, still, even in this time, like, they got away with a lot of stuff. I mean, even in the animation industry, like, a lot of cartoons that were centered for kids got away with a lot of stuff that you can't do nowadays.
If you did, they'd have to be, like, adult-oriented. Like, isn't
Yeah.
there, like, say, for example, isn't there, like, a Ren and Stimpy reboot that's, like, a little more for adults?
I don't know. I've just heard really bad things about it.
Oh.
Like, something came out recently, and it has Stimpy doing something out of character, and people were like, that's, you know, he would never do that.
The hell do you do? Do you shoot a man? Do you say a slur? What the fuck?
I don't know. It's just, I know a lot of people there was a clip going around on Twitter, and one of them just did something completely out of character, and everyone was really upset with it. I don't know. It's always something, because, like, I don't even know who or what is in charge of majority of the things when it comes to certain things like that, but, like, you remember that, like, mega thread on Twitter that, like, the creator of Gravity Falls came out with, talking about everything that Disney, like, had the check and made them censor and stuff like that?
It doesn't sound too familiar. Like,
well, okay, just to give you an example, there was one moment where in the script, I guess one of the characters called someone a poop face or something like that, right? Just harmless poop face. But they had to go in and change it completely because the creative, or the people behind the censoring stuff and whatnot were like, oh, well, you know, a kid could see this and just automatically go, oh, they meant shit face. What? I mean, yeah, but they're not saying that. They're saying poop face. Like,
that's because you have the mind, sir.
So, like, that was something that they needed to change. And then there was something like a shirt that one of the characters were wearing, and it was like they needed to change it because it would mean something, or, you know, be like, if you looked at it a certain way, it could intend for some kind of adult audience. And it's just like, okay, but what kid is going to look at that and automatically assume the first thought?
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
Like, there's just so many instances of, like, things that they've had to change, and it could be, like, the smallest thing. The landscape is very weird now.
Yeah, for real.
Cartoons can't be cartoons.
That's true. I'm really interested to see. I really want artist friends and animator friends like Fez to thrive in the industry, but I'm also very curious.
Well, and that's why I'm also very scared of, like, the possibility of a Crash cartoon. Like, there's nothing wrong with a Crash cartoon, but I just feel like, you know, there's some things.
Executive meddling.
Yeah, like I'm almost 100% certain that's the reason why we didn't get the first one. I mean, obviously, you know, I don't want the first one now, knowing who's tied to it, but yeah. Like, I mean, I'm honestly shocked at how much they got away with in Crash 4, honestly. Like, a lot of the, like, jokes that they got away with in Crash 4, like, I'm shocked. I'm like, man, whoever they had definitely gave, like, they had to have been paying somebody.
I think Crash is, funny enough, I think because of all of that, and even the radical stuff, I think Crash now just lives in the E10 space. I don't think
for
Crash
sure
can be E anymore. Like just
well,
straight
I mean,
E.
it's just so weird seeing it though. Like you know, having like skins like Mother Clucker and level names like Booty Call and I mean, there's just so many different things in 4 that just push the line of what is family friendly. I mean, you even have Dingo Dial straight up saying bastard.
Yeah.
Even though I know that's not like, you know, he's using the Australian term. It's more of a common term for Australians. Then you have Tana saying give him hell. And like, I mean, like I don't have an issue with it. It's just very interesting because like, you know, of all the times that we've had a Crash game, none of them have ever said a curse word up until 4.
Yeah, I mean, see, you say that, and then, but see, here's the thing. So you say that, but there have been, but they've been hidden. So, like, for example, and they've been really small things too. Nothing too.
Well, I mean, like
crazy.
you know, just but like outright saying.
No, I know what you mean. Exactly. No, exactly. Yes, yes. What was it? Like Titans has a move with the Magmadon called like the Hellfire or something or other. And
right.
Then, and
well,
then
I mean, that could just be like, you know, that could
true,
just be...
because Hellfire is a whole different thing,
yeah.
but it still includes the word hell, so that's where like they have to go like, oh, how do we feel about that, and blah blah blah. So like I don't know, but in the credits for Mind Over Mutant, Nolan North as Engine did get away with saying smartass. For one person you can click on, which I think is funny. Oh, my voice went. Frederick, hello. No, but seriously, I mean, me having grown up with like movies like Roger Rabbit and shit like that, where just PG meant something completely different back in the day. I don't mind Crash getting if of the two, because I know Spyro again tried a more cynical tone with Hero's Tale. But
I mean, I don't have an issue with Crash doing it.
I don't have an
all.
issue with Crash doing that stuff. Yeah.
I just find it interesting because, like, just compared to literally everything else.
Well,
yeah.
Yes. Yes. And I mean, I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to see more of it. I think it just.
I mean, I would. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Like, if you want Cortex to just go on a rant and actually Crash Bandicoot out, go for it, man.
Considering Crash's inspirations, yeah, it's not out of the realm that they could just go a little more. I wouldn't even say adult-oriented humor, but just pushing the envelope, as you're saying.
Yeah. Which, I mean, is something that I feel like has, you know, been a part of Crash for a while. Even back in, like, the beginning. Like, you had so many different,
like the original.
Like, well, yeah, Tana.
Just for one, you know.
I'm surprised I did that all in one go. Usually I mess up.
Yeah, there's a lot. The Radical era were the first to try some open, like.
Oh, I know. Like, look at the dialogue for Tag Team.
Yeah.
Who's your daddy?
Yeah, look at anything Cortex says in Titans.
Skank.
I was just, yeah. And apparently that one they wrote in just to be fucking funny, and Lex didn't even realize that they were trying to go for like the little. He's like, "What's the context of me saying this?" And he's just like,
"Yeah,
like, no, it's funny." And it's like, no, that's like, he thought the word meant something else in a different context for like why he would even be saying this in a kid's game. And it's like, no, we're just, you're gonna call your niece a skank. It's like, oh, okay,
all right, okay.
He says in his Cortex voice, oh, I guess.
I guess, you know, I don't really think of her like that.
Is Mind Over Mutant not E10? Hold on, I'm gonna check.
I thought it was.
I'm gonna check.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I think all the Radical games are E10, but let me double check just so I'm not stating incorrect bullshit. No, I'm right. Yeah, we're right. It's E10.
Okay.
I think most of the Radical games are E10. And that's what I was saying before you popped in, Frederick. Crash is just like in an E10 world now. Like, I can't imagine them doing soft humor like for kids after this. Like the teen, and then since our demographic, which is we're the ones who grew up with Crash, we were the target. I cannot talk fast. Target demographic back in the day being small children. That's why the tone was a bit different for the 90s. But with us being as cynical and as grown up as we are now, and we're still the ones they're hitting, and that's why the tone has changed for Crash. That's why they're able to make a couple more adult jokes here and there.
Yeah. Hello, Frong. You wish sometimes they use this rating for low-key horror atmosphere, like in the original trilogy, push it further. Just
Cool.
Crash special. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, there was definitely like a more scary tone to Crash, and like that's why I appreciate what they did with Catbat's story, because like that's that goes to show how far Cortex is willing to go. Like that just goes to show how like his morals just aren't fully there.
I like how progressive it is, and I like how it fits. They didn't just do an LGBTQ character for the sake of it.
Yeah, they didn't do it for the sake of it. They did it for like the sake of like, because like it raises a lot of questions, because like, Dingo Dial is kind of the same as Catbat, but like he's not concerned that he's mashed together with another being, whereas Catbat knows they're mashed together with another being and they hate it.
Yeah. Yeah, the Rumble comics I think were the best things to have happened to the Crash series in a while. And I really wish that Rumble could have continued, not just for the game, but so that way we could get more comic stuff. And with having a character like Catbat, like I want to see, obviously not just more of them, but also more
Peggy 7 over here in Europe, which is under the assumption Peggy 7 was just like an E for everyone equivalent. I gotcha. Yeah, when it comes to ratings, it's very hard to tell.
Comparatively, I have no idea how to compare like your guys' rating systems to ours.
But yeah, no, I mean, Crash definitely has a dark tone.
I'm glad
that goes under. I mean, like it's also kind of ties into why I wish. Well, not just Crash 1, but Crash Landed. Crash Landed was gonna go all out with that dark tone.
Yes. No, for sure. And that's the thing. If you've ever seen any of my videos where I say very briefly that Crash 1 feels like a Frankenstein's monster type story, it's because I think that might have been they've never Jason and Andy have never explained it or described it rather as such, but I feel that had to have been the inspiration, because look at how Crash 1 opens.
Yeah.
You're one step away from Cortex going, it's alive, it's alive. He even does that in the fucking pilot thing, little test for the cartoon. So like it has that like horror element, but then it's wacky and silly and kid friendly because he's stupid and he's going around causing havoc.
Yeah.
And then the whole journey starts. But like there are I'm saying Crash 1 specifically because it's all throughout the game. Like Crash 1 does have a very specific vibe to it that 2 and 3 and the rest of the franchise for that matter doesn't quite, not to the degree that the first one does. Because you have bits that are just really ambient in that dark way. You have literal blackout levels, like more than just 1 or 2. So that is really cool, and I'm glad that someone else finally like is willing to discuss it, because that's not something I've been able to discuss a lot with no, for sure, Generator Room. Exactly. Generator Room's like one of the scariest Crash levels I think ever made. It definitely has the creepiest music.
You did it.
Which is why
I don't know. I mean, I thought Lights Out was pretty creepy.
Lights Out's creepy in a claustrophobic way. Because of how you're literally, because they always say Crash is a hallway platformer. You're literally going down a hallway.
Yeah.
So that can be very scary for that reason. The music doesn't really hit it with me. I like the music. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying from that creepy perspective, I think Generator Room really takes it, because it just has this literal, really dark vibe to it. And I hate that Vivi couldn't keep that. They had to bastardize it, and it sucks.
I mean, even some points of Twinsanity, there's some darkness to it.
Oh yeah, I would say that. I would say definitely like the Academy of Evil.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have a place like that and it not have a touch of creepiness to it.
Oh yeah, no, it just feels weird.
Yeah,
What am I missing?
Crash Landed. You know what game?
Oh,
could
I
have
didn't
done
get the talisman. Do I know?
You know what game could have also touched on that? Fucking Crash Evolution. If Twinsanity was evolution,
Oh, true.
going on alien.
I mean,
worlds,
yeah. It's unfortunate that it was too similar to Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
The funny.
Yeah, having like alien worlds in a Crash game, which I mean we wouldn't really see until Crash 4. You could do some really crazy shit with that. You know what? Fuck it. I'd even argue fucking Wrath of Cortex with Droid.
Oh no, definitely.
That shit's a vibe. That's something right there.
I mean, the water levels in that game definitely take the cake for being pretty scary.
Yeah. I just don't like the pacing of them because of how the enemies like come out at you from the screen, from outside the screen.
Yeah.
Out of frame rather.
I mean, even I feel like Titans and Mutant also do as well.
Yeah, you have Mount Grimly.
Yeah.
And
I mean, just looking at the design of Uka Uka.
Yeah, no, for real.
Like, that's really creepy.
I know people hate that it's so far removed from, like, you know, Uka Uka, but I like it. It feels more tribal.
Oh, no, definitely.
Which, I mean, Crash is... That's the other thing that I like about Crash. Like, the general feel of Crash as a franchise. Not only do you have the sci-fi... Everything that's in relation to Cortex is sci-fi, and everything in relation to Crash is jungle. I mean,
oh, yeah,
shit.
no. I mean,
like,
they definitely...
When you blend it...
They pulled a Sonic and Eggman thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. And see, Crash Landed was going to explore that, which I thought was cool.
I really like how I guess like would grody be the right term for it? I really liked how grody Dingo looked.
Yeah,
in that
I would
game.
say that's a good descriptor.
Because he looked like a monster. Like, he didn't look like any kind of dingo. He just looked like an actual monster.
Yeah.
Straight up, just he looked like the worst thing ever. OG Crash 1 is probably the only dark Crash game, but even then it feels like it was intentional as the vibe was not present in the remake.
Well, I see it the reverse. Like I was saying, the tone got bastardized in the remake because the vibe of the space, the gaming space, is different. A lot of stuff got tweaked, a lot of stuff got changed, and I feel, I mean, look at fucking something not so scary, but still kind of foreboding, like Slippery Climb. Slippery Climb got bastardized for no reason. It's supposed to be a little more comical, a little more silly, because they rewrote the tone and vibe of Insane's version of these games to be more consistently silly and wacky. Crash has to be silly and wacky.
That also brings up the thing we were mentioning the other day about Crash Bandicoot 2 with Cortex, because like when you get to the final room and you beat Engine, he growls at Crash. He's really upset. He's like super angry.
Yeah. Yeah.
No dragons.
And that's something I forgot about because I was going through and I was trying to get as many, for my Cortex video, I was trying to get as many hologram cutscenes of him as I could. And to have variety in there, I didn't want to just take from the first 2 warp rooms. So I played the whole game and took all of them that I could, footage of all of his holograms that I could. And yeah, hitting that first one of the final warp room, I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. This shows that he was
and I
very
think
threatening.
we're jumping over the biggest dark thing of all. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Pinstripe has a Tommy gun.
That's true.
He was straight up ready to murder Crash in his office.
Yep. Which is one thing that I am glad that they kept. Even though they changed the bullets a little bit so they look like little tiny missiles. Whatever. It's something very inconsequential because you can barely see it. But they kept the vibe. They didn't change his gun to a fucking... It's not goop. It's not whatever. That's the one thing I get it. I get it. I just... That's not even the only one that they changed in Reignited. They changed the fucking... the little cannon, I don't know guns, I'm sorry, but the little cannon thing that the dinosaur has in Dino Mines in Spyro 3. That shit, they launch like wieners at you or some shit now. They're not bullets. It's very weird. Very strange. Oh, plus two, they changed a word in CTR Nitro Field. Instead of Oxide saying he'll make them his slaves, he says minions.
Oh, yeah.
That was a very weird... I guess you just can't say slaves, even though that has nothing to do with anything from history in the context of... It's just him saying the word.
Well, it just seems a little, I guess, a little too mature for a kid audience.
I mean, nowadays, I guess.
Yeah, nowadays, I can see it, but, like, at the same time, like, I don't know.
For us at the time when we were kids, I'm just like, this guy sounds funny.
yeah. I mean, that's usually what it should just lead into. Like, you know, it's funny. He sounds funny.
Yeah. You know, it's really weird that I'm a little late on the YouTube side of it, but that Crash actually went to the middle platform. He, like, does not do that for me.
Oh, does he not?
No, that's interesting. I wonder if it was because of where you were standing.
Maybe. I don't know. Because I'm playing the Black Label version. Ouch. I just wanted to shoot.
Damn.
I just wanted shoot. Nope.
But yeah, I would certainly... I'm not sure how, you know, Crash 5 was supposed to go, but I would like to now see, like, what they were going to do with it. Because you even have with this alternate dimension shit, you have a chance to kind of introduce, especially with Tana, ironically enough, bringing it back around full circle, you have the opportunity to get some creepiness in there. You can have a whole... one of those dimensions you can travel to in a sequel, even if we ultimately do get a sequel, because who knows at this point. I want to see Tana's stuff, alternate Tana. I want to see what...
No, I definitely think we need more time with her, especially Femtropy, because Femtropy is really dark.
Yeah.
Like, just straight out flat saying, oh yeah, I'm the one who killed Crash and Coco in your universe.
Saying I killed your friends, and it's a direct reference to Crash and Coco. That's why I said what I said in my Iceberg video. I was like, the very concept of Crash and Coco failing to save the world and dying to boot being a very real possibility is one of the darkest things they've ever introduced into the franchise. That concept is one of the darkest things ever. That, no, in some dimensions, they did not win. In fact, they died. That's fucking insane. But it's cool, because it's like, yeah, have those balls, like, to actually, like, do that.
Yeah.
The fact that that's canon now. It might have been time things as well. It might have been a time thing. They couldn't probably explore Tana's backstory.
It definitely feels like it, because I know there's like a there's a scrapped song somewhere that sounds like it would have taken place in like a cutscene that was from Tana's universe.
Now, here's something that somebody actually told me about, which I didn't know prior. Because if I had known about it, I would have mentioned it. But that song, first off, Walter Mayer didn't do that. That is a stock song, because that was actually used already by Vivi in Skylanders Imaginators. For like some Dark Minds level or something, which I didn't know. I was like, oh shit, I thought that was the original composition for Crash 4. But yeah, but in the files, it's named Unknown Tawniverse. So that was definitely going to be either it was the placeholder or it was going to be the song for like some revelation. My guess, if I had to really guess, they probably could have. What they probably wanted to do was actually show how her, Crash, and Coco died, but they probably thought maybe that's too dark. But we'll imply it. We'll like confirm that it happened, but we won't show it. I'm wondering.
If Ripto were here, I'd give him a piece of my mind.
You're peeved that Insane Trilogy messed up Entropy's opening line in his boss fight. He doesn't sound nearly as intimidating as he was in OG. The thing that irks me the most about Insane Trilogy is his introduction. I do not like how they did Tropy's introduction. Yeah, I do not like that at all. Because in OG, again, going back to the darker darker tone, he's standing there in the shadows, and he just walks out. Like
that was really cool.
That is like the best way you could introduce him. Why they changed it to him walking out of the portal, I don't know.
Yeah, it is weird. It's not a change I like either.
It is a very odd change. Summer Forest. All right.
Autumn Plainsies.
Autumn Plains. Autumn Plans.
If we get to Scorch in this stream, I can't wait. Or Shady Oasis, rather.
Shady Oasis. I think I might be saving that for another.
Okay.
Just because of all the technical difficulties that we had this morning.
True.
Or, well, this afternoon. Yeah, it's probably best to call it now. That clip of Spyro.
Sounds good.
But, I don't know. Maybe if I'm in the mood for it, we'll do it tomorrow. But if not tomorrow, definitely on Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as usual. So thank you to everybody that stopped by. Apologies for the hiccups. Hopefully next stream there won't be any internet difficulties. Yes. So huge thank you to Mark for being here. We'll go ahead and shout some people in the chat. We got Frong over on Twitch, much appreciated for being over there. Nationverse, Adam Braxter was here, Ryan was here, Frankie was here, and Frederick was here. Yeah. Do you have anything you want to plug before we end it?
So, my burp. Follow my burp on Twitter. So I'm working on the next Crash character analysis. I'm not gonna say too much on who it's going to be yet, but I did a hero and I did a villain. That's your only hint. So this character I feel is very interesting and is worth analyzing. So I am about half-ish way through that script. So you might be seeing that sometime in August. And we'll be doing more streams on Star Fox Adventures, Hi-Fi Rush. We moved the Mario Kart stream. We were supposed to do it yesterday. We'll be doing that, I think, next Friday. Like this coming Friday, rather. So, we'll see if everyone can get together for that. And that should be about it.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to go check out Mark and all that good stuff. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.